UFO shut down an airport in India. We have that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, yeah, so a UFO shut down an airport. Well, I mean, it didn't shut it down, but it appeared high over the airport, and here is a video of it. And, it just hovered there. It wasn't really doing anything. Just kind of hanging out over an airport as they do, like in the O'Hare case. Not the only example of that either. It's something they apparently do from time to time. Now, I guess it makes sense. They're attracted to military bases. Why not occasionally spice it up with a civilian base, right? So the ship hovered over this airport, and a couple of flights were diverted. The airport itself suspended flights for an hour. The Air Force actually engaged their defensive mechanism. Maybe they went in defensive maneuvers. As far as I know, they didn't try to intercept it or shoot it down or anything. But maybe they were scrambled, defensively. We don't really know what that means. But yeah, so that's what happened. Then the UFO went away, and flights resumed after about an hour. No harm done that we know of. What was it doing? Is it surveillance of some sort? Is it gathering information? Did it run out of gas? I don't know. Let me know what you think that UFO was doing over India in the comments below. Meanwhile, we have more information about a new to me UFO sighting that happened in 2020. This is from a new article that just came out a couple of days ago, shedding a light on this interesting UFO where a cube-like object was sighted by a pilot. And this event was actually covered by the History Channel, and that's the journalist. But there you go. There is the cube. Look at that, flying through the sky as recorded by a pilot. Check that out. Yeah, this is covered by the History Channel. I'm assuming this is a legit UFO. Here's the details and the immersive reader without all the ads. And a captivating UFO sighting over Medellin, Colombia. In February 2020, a pilot captured footage of an extraordinary black UFO with straight edges at an altitude of 30,000 feet. The pilot's camera skillfully panned from the altimeter. I can't say, guys. I'm a Texan. I got a clumsy tongue. I can't do it. The altimeter. Okay, there we go. Okay. The altimeter to reveal a mesmerizing metallic polyhedron flying effortlessly past the aircraft. Details. Anyway, we don't care about the details. Important thing is there was a crazy cube flying by a plane. Was this a deliberate display? Did it just not care that somebody was filming it? Was it trying to get a look at the plane, just as in the airport sighting, possibly? Some sort of surveillance on the plane or planes in general? Or was it just carrying out its business, and there just happened to be a plane there, and the UFO just didn't care? Either way, it's a really interesting. It makes me think of the Ryan Graves story about how his squadron was seeing these UFOs over the USS Roosevelt for a period of 2 years on a pretty much daily basis. And, you would have occasionally the cubes or the spheres within a cube or the cubes within a sphere. I don't know if that's what this is or not. But it is very intriguing nonetheless. Let me know what you think. Meanwhile, what the heck is the ancient handbag? The ancient handbag of the gods. What is that thing? And, another piece of evidence clearly showing there was a global interaction long, long ago between ancient peoples, possibly hinting at the existence of something like Atlantis, some culture that was able to spread their influence globally and that connected threads of their own culture throughout these other places, linking them all together culturally in a way. in one of the pieces of evidence for that, and I love this topic. I talk about it a lot. Is of course the handbag, shown all over the world from South America. Look at that, to Mesopotamia, and it goes all the way back potentially to Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. It's hard to say for sure, but those three objects at the top of this depiction look an awful lot like that ancient handbag. Whatever that was it holding souls? Was it holding godly power or not wisdom? This guy right here is holding that in one hand, and I think the pine cone, possibly representing the pineal gland and enlightenment, in the other. Super intriguing. Super intriguing. What is this? What is the meaning of this? I wish I knew, but it is certainly a strong piece of evidence showing the existence of Atlantis, or at least some interconnectedness between ancient peoples, seeming to show some really intriguing things connected to spirituality and potentially UFOs. So I love it, but it is a mystery. Let me know what you think the ancient handbag represents. Meanwhile, from this Reddit post, we get a glimpse of the Soul Foundation from somebody who professes to have been there, and he gives a detailed breakdown of how it all went down. I got invited by accident, I think. I think that was supposed to be cheeky. Who else was there? He describes it as, I can only describe the vibe as history in the making. Why you couldn't watch from home. I've seen anger about them not live streaming. They made it clear they did not want anyone live tweeting, sharing photos, videos, etc. Here are a few reasons as to why. They made it clear that no classified information would be shared. You didn't miss anything. For God's sake, let them cook, please. Chatham House rule. They asked that everyone expect or respect a modified instance of Chatham House rule, since this topic is sensitive, and they didn't want anyone to be afraid to speak openly and freely. I can point to an easy example, the leaked tweet. I guess they're talking about the Carl Nell slide. It was an irresponsible mischaracterization that betrayed trust. They wished for this event to establish a serious tone around the topic and wanted to prevent sound bites from being taken out of context. How could you expect people to attach themselves to this topic if you lambaste them because you have FOMO? I don't know what FOMO means. I think the event was a significant step toward progress. I cannot agree more with their decision to ensure the information they deliver to the public is prepared professionally so that the speakers feel comfortable. Public speaking is not everyone's strong suit. Allowing them to edit the footage into the most presentable format will maximize the content's efficacy. Additionally, you never know when a question may veer into an area where a speaker would like to answer speculatively, but may feel uncomfortable due to live cameras. Also, last, disclosure is a process, not an event. We are in it right now. There is no unveiling of the master plan. All discussions about the future were prefaced with, we really need the UAPDA to pass. The Schumer-Rounds Amendment. So, so there you go. That is the justification for them not live streaming. It gives us first impression of the first day and an overview of the first day. Peter Skafish and Gary Nolan were fantastic hosts, as were Stanford staff, students, and the Soul team. I don't have enough good things to say here. It was evident that blood, sweat, and tears poured into setting up and executing the symposium. The scientists, Loeb, Villarreal, Knuth, and Nolan walked through excellent presentations that showed analysis and findings related to materials, physics, historical info, sensor data, etc. There wasn't any room for arguments because there wasn't any speculation, only conclusive findings that were evident based on the data they had. Everyone did an excellent job establishing the following. This is what the data says. Here are further questions we have. Also, we need more data, please. Next, we had humanities presentations that were super refreshing. Having the scientists lay the groundwork of these questions need to be addressed because the data is clear was a good lead up to the anthropology and sociology discussions. Closing out the day involved Pudolph, Leslie Kean, and Larry Maguire from Canada's Parliament. For me, I think this session is where I realized the gravity of being there. The dialogue sounded to me like there was a kind of fearlessness by the panelists. I realized during the session that this was probably history in the making. And I'll link to it and you can read the rest of it at your leisure. But a really interesting Reddit post that gives you some insight into actually being there at the Soul Foundation. It really does sound like history in the making. I wish I had been able to go. Last but not least, here is a photo of a dog man or a werewolf or a skinwalker or something supposedly picked up on a trail camera in the UK. And, hard for me to judge its authenticity. But look at those hands or paws. Definitely not a wolf. Definitely not a wolf. Is it a skinwalker? Is it CGI? No way to tell. But it is going around on TikTok apparently. And I love the skinwalker and dogman stories. There is definitely some there. In the book Skinwalkers at the Pentagon by George Knapp, James Latatsky, and Colm Kelleher, they said they were able to track the skinwalkers. There were so many of them moving across that area. They were able to track their migration patterns. There was no follow-up to that. They didn't expound on that or say what they meant by that. But to me, that is just mind-boggling. There were enough skinwalkers in the Skinwalker Ranch area to track their migration patterns. So what does that mean? Were they, simply moving to the ridge possibly, or away from the ridge, or along the ridge? That is why they call it Skinwalker Ridge, right? So is that what they meant? I don't know, but skinwalkers are a thing. And Axelrod, per that book, aka Jay Stratton, his family, after Jay Stratton's time at Skinwalker Ranch, and of course Jay Stratton, if you don't know, was the first director of the U.A.P. task force, and he also was involved in Skinwalker Ranch. And he is currently working with Travis Taylor at Radiance, possibly setting themselves up to work on reverse engineering UFO technology. Well, after his time at Skinwalker Ranch, he was haunted by a skinwalker. The hitchhiker effect from the Skinwalker Ranch, that's how it manifested for him. He and his family, and even some people in their orbit, saw this being, this terrifying werewolf-like figure on two legs, with glowing red eyes that would stare at them, sometimes from across their backyard. And and sometimes it was in motion. One time they saw it running off. So I can't imagine how terrifying that would be. But either way, there is some there. These aren't all just stories. So is this actually one of them? Are we looking at a dog man right there, or a skinwalker, or a whatever you want to call it? No way to know. No way to know. But they are out there. And, if a Bigfoot can be caught on camera, if an alien can be caught on camera, or a UFO, why not a skinwalker? So let me know what you think about the skinwalker and everything else today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a t-shirt or a coffee mug. See the merch store below. Or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. And I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.